Hey y'all, happy Tuesday. Sorry I missed you last week. I was actually fighting off a stomach bug of some sort, but I'm back. And today we're gonna chat about flood insurance, specifically in Charleston, South Carolina. And so we get a lot of people that are relocating here, which is great. And a lot of the questions that come up are around flooding and what flood insurance looks like. So wanted to connect with y'all here today on that a bit. And what I would first say is that if you're looking at a map of Charleston, we're surrounded by water. So even if you're in an X flood zone and you're not required to obtain flood insurance, now this would be only if you're getting a mortgage. If you're paying with cash, you have the chance, you get to choose. But if you're getting a mortgage and you are in a flood zone, you will be required to get flood insurance. But let's say you're paying cash and you're in an X flood zone, which means you are not required to get insurance, then I always recommend that you still do. And the reason being is because, again, look at a map of Charleston. We're surrounded by water. A really good example of this is my personal property. I am not in a flood zone. My neighbors are. So if that gives you any idea of how crazy that sounds, it is pretty crazy. I mean, I'm fortunate for it. But I'm in an X flood zone and I pay around $550 per year to have my home insured on the flood level. That's nominal, taking into consideration the type of damage that you could be paying out of pocket for if something catastrophic were to happen. Now, obviously, we have hurricanes here. Also, what we have here are heavy rainfalls with flooding. So there are a lot of areas in Charleston that flood pretty heavily. And so you always just want to be protecting your investment. So again, even if you're in an X zone, even if you're paying cash, I always advise you to get flood insurance. Charleston is surrounded by water. Even if you're in Somerville, which is a little bit more inland away from the coast, highly recommend it. Why not protect your asset in a way to where you don't even have to worry about it? The first thing that comes to mind for me is when that hurricane hit Houston and all of that flooding that took place and all of those people that were, for a lack of a better word, pretty much screwed. You don't want that to happen to you here. And like I've said a million times, please look at a map. Charleston is surrounded by water. So go ahead and protect your investment. Always get flood insurance. If you are obtaining a mortgage and you are in a flood zone, you will be required to get flood insurance. Obviously, if you're in a flood zone, that will increase the amount that you're paying on that flood insurance, and you'll be required to obtain it. But again, even if you're in an X zone, I highly recommend that you still get flood insurance. And we have multiple providers here, so you can shop around products and rates. Keep in mind that your typical homeowner's insurance is not going to cover flood. Flood is going to be a separate payment for you that's outside of your homeowner's insurance. So if you have any questions, let me know. I have some great people that I work with here in Charleston that can help you protect your property, and I hope that's helpful. And let me know if you have any questions.